Okay, hello. So I tried to go live. It's Denise from Loving Life at 60ish. And my Etsy shop is fairyrosecottage.etsy.com. And I just tried to go live and I had all these trolls just like descended upon the chat. And I've never had that happen before. So I'm going to video and then post the video because, as I was saying, I have a lot of splaining to do. Lucy, you got a lot of splaining to do is how I'm feeling because I haven't been here in a while. I think almost a week. So I'm cutting up apples to make an apple pie for tomorrow. My grandson was here and he just left. And I realized after he left and I was standing here cutting up apples that it was very quiet and very lonely. I can't listen to music, just really struggling with that. No matter what the genre is, even though Scott's and my music was the 70s and 80s, I just, all of a sudden the song will come on and wham. So I thought, well, I'll come on and I'll go live, right? And chat with you. But that was not meant to be because I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to set my settings. Because I can set my settings so that the chat is done, it's more moderated, but I can't find the place on my phone to set the settings. So anyway, here I am. I have not done my hair today. I have, I got dressed. I have a big Disney sweatshirt on, but in some leggings, but I didn't get dressed like I was going to go out, and I'm going to explain that all to you. But I'm on the struggle bus a bit. I knew that I would be. It is the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring. Thankfully, not even a mouse. But it's Thanksgiving. It's a holiday, and I've lost my husband and my mother and my brother all in a 6-week period this year. And then my brother-in-law soon after. So it's just rough. But I thought, well, I got a bunch of friends out there that I can get on my YouTube with and chat. And so that's what my intention was, but I'll have to figure that out. It's been a while since I've done a live too, and I know things have changed. So, but here's the scoop, guys. When I last saw you, we were introducing a little King Charles Cavalier into our pack of King Charles Cavaliers. Her name is Penny. She's 7 years old, and she's actually my Willow's daughter. Go figure, right? How crazy is that? She needed a home because her adults were not able to take care of her anymore. And she came with a bit of a health problem. Penny is morbidly obese. So my two little Cavaliers, Merida and Willow, weigh 15 pounds. 15 and 16, I think. One weighs 15, one weighs 16. And my little Ruby dog never weighed more than 17 pounds. King Charles Spaniels, their weight usually fluctuates between 12 pounds and 18 pounds. But I have seen 21-pound Cavaliers that look very healthy. So Princess Penny is 37.5 pounds. Yeah, 37.5 pounds. That's way too big for her. And we do not use the word diet because that would make her panic. So we are just, she is eating what my girls eat. No more, no less. I did not want her to be hungry. So I'm watching her carefully. And if there are signs of, irritability, things like that, hangry signs, then I will definitely give her a bit more. But the vet suggested, instead of doing a weight loss food, just do what my girls do. And the goal is to lose about 1 pound to 2 pounds a month. So, and she probably has a 15 to 17 pounds to lose. But we don't know, because in 2020 she weighed 21 pounds. And so that's actually my goal. I think that because that's where she was in 2020, that's a good place to get to. And so that's 16 pounds. Not only, I have way more than that to lose, and I am not doing well with it. So Penny came into our lives a week ago this past Monday. She came in very worried, laid by the door, I think hoping that I was going to get her back in the car and take her home. She did, from the very first night, sleep up on the bed with the rest of us. She didn't eat for 4 days, and the vet just kept telling me she will. She'll eat when she's ready. But right now she's holding out hope that you're going to feed her like her other people did and give her some people food. So she did start eating. Yay! Sometimes she looks at me like, this is it? That's all you're giving me? And then other times she seems totally satisfied. I just gave her a little slice of apple and she really looked at me like, wow. Okay, so fast forward a little bit. That was a week ago Monday. The following Thursday night, Friday night, I realized that a 1 pound bag of Twizzlers was missing. Now, I knew that Penny hadn't eaten it because she had been with me that day in the car. And I kept, so it was a pound bag and there were 3 Twizzlers missing, which means there were 36 Twizzlers in this bag. I never leave food around, never. But with the kitchen in such a mess with the renovations, it just, I don't know, somehow it happened. Friday night, I watched the Merida and Willow carefully, and what I discovered was Merida was drinking water pretty fast and a lot, and that's kind of uncommon for them. Willow was a little bit, but not like enough that I would have thought it was odd. And then in the middle of the night, Friday night, Merida started throwing up. And it was not great. And it continued. I called the vet. I called the vet Friday when I realized that the Twizzlers were missing. And they said, just keep an eye on them. If you feel the need to, call the emergency vet. but, you know, they read the thing about Twizzlers and it didn't seem to be that big of a deal. Although I did keep reiterating that it was like probably 36 Twizzlers. I can't even eat three. Three of them was too many for me. And these girls don't have a lot of teeth. Anyway, by Saturday, late morning, we were headed to the ER vet. Merida was not well. I thought my son came over and stayed with the other two girls, and I drove up, and I thought at one point that Merida had just stopped breathing. She had was weak and lethargic and panting and a mess. And I had called the pet poison control on my way up. That's the only way the ER vet would treat her. That was $120. To step into the emergency vet was $800 and something. That was to start an IV and check her over and come up with a diagnosis and stuff. We realized pretty quickly she needed surgery. Her belly was very distended. And so that's what they did. The estimate was $4,400. And it had to be paid right then. Yeah, right then. Like, I know you guys are saying, if you've never been to an emergency vet, well, how do they expect that? And then, and let me tell you, I have an emergency fund, but I don't have one like that for that. So again, struggle, right? And anyway, they decided to do surgery. The doctor called us in the middle of the surgery. My son had come up to stay with me, and my son's girlfriend had gone to stay with the dogs, and my daughter was doing the, background stuff of what can I do? How can we pay for this type stuff? And so the vet calls us in while Merida's on the table, opened up, and says, I'd like to show you a couple of things, but I don't want to if it's going to upset you or make you squeamish. But because I couldn't see that it was Merida, all I could see was something cut open. I was okay. She started pulling organs out of Merida. It was really crazy, but it makes so much sense why she did it. And so she showed us that it appeared as though she had pancreatitis. Her intestines were clean. They weren't clean. They were able to squeeze the Twizzlers out. There were big clumps of Twizzlers in a bucket on the floor. She has pancreatitis, so her pancreas was inflamed and swollen. But the concern came in that her liver was very swollen and had black spots on it. So she asked if she could do a biopsy of the liver. And I mean, what are you going to say? Of course. So she's stuffing the organs, the pancreas, the liver, the kidneys, all back in. And so the plan was to start treating the pancreatitis and seeing if the liver numbers, the values of the liver are supposed to be about 118. They were 3,000. The doctor was concerned that this had nothing to do with the Twizzlers, that it was an underlying issue such as cancer. So anyway, Merida stayed in the hospital for 2 more days. And she's been home, but it is utter chaos here, you guys. My kitchen is a disaster and nothing is in it. So to find stuff to make pies and rolls and everything today has been like a where's Waldo? And my little girl is on 6 different medications at several times a day. She's peeing a lot, so I'm having to take her out way more than usual. And yeah, she has to be picked up to be put on the couch, and she's not doing well at that. She's jumping up even though she's not supposed to. It always makes me laugh when they say to keep an animal quiet, right? So I'm waiting for the vet to call with the biopsy results. So I'm actually not going to stay on here much longer, because if they call, then this gets bumped off anyway. And I'm praying that the liver values started going down the second day, but they were still high. They had gone down, but they were still high. But I'm praying that that the liver was like that because of the toxicity of the amount of Twizzlers and the red dye in the Twizzlers. They were not sugar-free, thank God. That would have made even, that might have been a death sentence, unfortunately. It does appear that Willow ate some also. There was a little bit in her poo, but the only sign she's shown is that she's been drinking a little bit more water. But other than that, nothing big, thankfully. So that's where we're at. I have not dared go in my room and make videos because either one, my contractor is here and I don't like to do that when he's here. Or two, I've been on the road visiting Merida, picking up Merida. And 3, keeping an eye on Merida so that she doesn't do anything silly here. So I apologize. You know, it just is. So I'm hoping, I feel like this happens a lot. I'm hoping to get back on track again. In the meantime, I am trying very hard to work on getting through the holidays. I am going to talk a little bit about that. Maybe I'll just do it on a regular video about grief and the holidays. I am no expert, guys. I'm going through it. And I thought maybe I'd walk around it. And that is not happening. With the loss of Scott and my mom and my brother in that 6-week period. And then my brother-in-law. Yeah. So I am going to be very gentle with myself. But I did want to come on and explain what's happening. And also, I wanted to tell you, my Etsy shop is fairyrosecottage.etsy.com. And just about everything is 25% off right now. The only things that aren't is the monthly kits, because I don't really feel like when I put those on sale, I don't feel like that's fair to the people who have just recently purchased them at the regular price. So, plus they're such a low price. They're not high enough. I haven't priced them high enough to basically, I wouldn't make anything, like maybe $1. Well, I don't even know if I'd make anything, actually, now that I think of it. I think I figured it out, and I'd be in the negative if I let it go 25% off. But anyway, most everything is 25% off in the shop for a little while until after Cyber Monday, I think. So now's a good time to stock up on some savings challenges for the new year. Even the ones that mail out are on sale. The books and stuff that I print and laminate and cut and ship. So there's that. I have an apple pie to make. I have a pumpkin pie to make. I have yeast rolls to make. And I need to cook the turkey, which I'll do tomorrow. What's everyone else doing today? Big plans for Thanksgiving? We're trying to keep it low key. It is the first Thanksgiving without several people. The biggest loss felt will be Scott, because he was always here on Thanksgiving. My brother, I haven't celebrated Thanksgiving with since we were kids. And my mother was here occasionally on Thanksgiving, but where she lived in Georgia, most times she was not. But of course, we always talked on Thanksgiving, right? So, but I'd love to hear what you guys are up to. What are you baking? What are you cooking? What are you not cooking? What are you not doing? Do you have to work? Some people have to work tomorrow. I anticipate I will work a bit tomorrow because it will be very quiet here. I'm going to be at my daughter's for Thanksgiving. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet because little Merida is I'm still on Merida watch. But I'll figure it out and go from there. She is just standing here at the floor, on the floor and beside me, waiting for me to drop something. You would think that she had learned that people food is not her friend. I love my new island. It's huge. It's way too big for this room, but it is amazing. And I'm excited about it. I'm also excited because I can start moving things back into the cupboards. I just have to figure out where I'm going to put everything. I don't know. I haven't figured that all out yet. But I was waiting for some shelf liner to come. Oh, my hands are sticky, but it did come. Hold on just a second. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. And it's very pretty because I just want to be able to open my drawers and doors and go, oh, isn't that pretty? It's not enough of it, and it was very expensive. I was shocked. I mean, I could have gotten just some of that Sterilite or Rubbermaid or whatever it is, the not contact paper, but the waffle type stuff. But I wanted something a little prettier, and I guess you pay for pretty, guys. All right, I'm going to go. I love you all. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit and not judging me because I haven't done my hair or makeup or anything today. I'm not going anywhere. I can't go anywhere. I'm pretty much homebound. My son did come and babysit the girls last night so I could go to book study. And so that was good just to get out for a minute. But I am here for the duration. All right, I will see you all real soon. I love you all. I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. If I have time tonight, I may come on and do an actual savings challenge video. If not, then I will see you in the next day or two. And please, please go on to Etsy and do a little shopping. I mean, at 25% off, you know, it doesn't feel like a lot. Well, it does feel like a lot when it's some of the bigger stuff, but I remember someone was having a 25% off sale when I first started savings challenges, and I loved their savings challenges, loved them. And so I went on and bought like, oh, I don't know, a gazillion of them. And, you know, it ended up, it cost me about $50. But, you know, obviously that was after the 25%. And I got so many great savings challenges. It was perfect. So now's the time to do that. I don't generally put my things on sale because they're pretty low priced as it is. Yeah. And otherwise, I hope that you are enjoying yourself today, whether you have today off or not. And I hope even if you don't have tomorrow off or you're not celebrating Thanksgiving, that you can find something to be very grateful for tomorrow and every day. I am very grateful for you guys. I will show you, I can't do it today because I can't turn the camera around, but I'm going to post some pictures of the before and afters of the kitchen and the 2 bathrooms. So I'll do that. I'll do a little slideshow maybe. After the kitchen is done, I'm done for a while. I was actually going to have my, whoops, I have one more apple here. Have my bedroom done. There's not a lot that needs to be done, but there are some things. And after oh yeah, I didn't finish that. So the original estimate for the emergency vet was $4,400, and it was $4,600. And that doesn't include the biopsy because I have to pay my regular vet for that. And whatever else comes afterwards. And I don't have $4,600. I mean, I just don't have it sitting around, and not even in any of my savings challenges. So they have a thing called Care Credit, and I was eligible for that. And I have either a 6-month or a 12-month no interest. They were supposed to tell me, and I don't see it in any of the paperwork which one it is. I think it's the 12-month because I believe they said if it's over $1,000. But I figured at 12 months, right, I still would have to pay $500 a month to get it paid off in time. So I got some stuff to do, guys. And I got to get to work so that I can pay for my babies. All right. I shall see you real soon. Have a great rest of your day. It is Wednesday. And happy savings. Bye.